This is RSBANDB Update, episode 366, recorded Friday, June 22nd, 2012. We get fingers. Hello, everybody, and welcome to RSBANDB Update, a RuneScape podcast that is now in its 8th year. So if you just found us, welcome aboard, and we hope that you'll enjoy your stay with us and maybe learn something along the way and share it with your friends and make your life a bit better. This week, Trekkie's here as always.
Yo!
And we got one of the Jasons from RSBANDB Informer, specifically Jason C., which is also Hey Jason in-game.
Hello.
So we're just going to talk about the RS updates of the week and discuss... Actually, I think the biggest thing we're going to discuss this week is going to be the combat changes that are coming next week because, well, the Crucible came out this week and nobody seems to really, at least in our community, care for it.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, what the Crucible is the re-release of Bounty Hunter. We all remember Bounty Hunter that came out when the Wilderness and Free Trade was first removed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Now, I don't remember, but can one of you guys remind me why they removed Bounty Hunter again?
Wasn't it when they brought the Wilderness back? I'm not 100% sure on that. But
That's what I was thinking,
yeah.
But it didn't make sense. Like, why would you remove something that's already here, you know?
I think just because the push for the regular Wilderness was so strong, they just took it out and put the regular Wilderness back. I'm not 100% sure, but that's the only thing I can think of.
Well, it's back now. The Crucible, that is. So, some of the things I've heard about this are that they're neglecting a certain type of PvP out there, but even with this, it's not really usable because you have to pay to get in there, and then there's no guarantee about whether or not you're actually going to be able to take down this opponent that you have. So I'm just getting from people that it's not fun. What do you guys get?
For what I heard, there's still a lot of flaws with this. People were complaining. From what I saw on the forums, was that people were just complaining that it just wasn't working. It wasn't very nice because everybody who's going to kill anybody is going to grab a yak, dragon claws, and just spec you with it really fast. And if they don't manage to hit you, well, they'll just retreat and repot up and try again.
Yeah,
I think the matching system still isn't. Just with the current combat, like the balance isn't there, and so the matching system doesn't work.
But, Shane, you and I both saw it from the very beginning. It's just going to be people with dragon claws running around, clawing each other, hoping for the best.
Yeah.
We both saw it from the very beginning, before this even came out.
Kind of with this, now that we see this, I kind of am thinking that maybe it would have been better to wait until the week after next week to release this thing, so people can actually try it in the beta thing and get an opinion of how it's going to be with the new combat system.
Yeah, I think if they let us play it in the beta, I think that'll be a lot more interesting because I think it'll work a lot better with the rebalance.
And like you said, you guys both said, it's just a matter of going in, getting Dragon Claws, Steel Titan, Yak, or whatever else you want to get, and just getting the first hit off on someone and having the right prayers up, and there you go. And that is the problem with RS Combat in general, is that it's just a dice roll, which, would be really nice if we can get that fixed next week.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's been my biggest complaint of combat all these years. Sure, it's interesting, but it's not all that great.
Mm-hmm.
So, essentially, you guys are right in that you just go in there and you get to get matched with someone. And whoops, I forgot to turn that noise off. Never mind. But you go in there and you work with the matchmaking system and get faced up against someone, and then after that, who knows what'll happen.
Mm-hmm. So, unless you're good enough to have, I'm guessing, a hybrid armor and be able to go as a battle mage. Everybody just goes inside with Dragon Claws, and I don't think most people would even risk a hybrid outfit anyway, because it's so hard to get it back.
Yeah, because you can't even protect item. And like if you go in with like say with like full Darox in the whip to switch to, and then you get paired up with someone who's got like Storm of Armadillo, you're not gonna have a chance. So you just
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this goes back to the matchmaking system too, and that it just seems to be putting people based on combat level rather than what they're wearing, and it's not taking into account that yes, this item set is going to totally destroy the other item set.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's PvP in RuneScape, and I've never been a PvP fan. Neither of you, Trekkie, and neither of you, Jason. So, if by all means we're missing something here that is a big hole, please do let us know. And we don't have a PvP expert anymore, but if we would have, he would have been on the show. But just based on what I was seeing in the community, I didn't feel it necessary to find someone who was actually an active PvPer, because the PvPers don't seem all that enthused with this update.
And I think because I imagine they developed with the new combat system in mind, so I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't really work with this one, but it will work best with the beta or even farther along the line when it gets released in the real game.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens later afterwards. Beta starts on Monday. It's going to be an interesting day. So
I'm just glad we're not recording the show on Monday. That'll give us time to digest everything.
Yeah.
Yes, we should go out and try and kill each other and see how that works out.
Oh, we will do that numerous times. And I plan to be victorious just like I'm victorious in Star Trek Online.
Didn't take long for him to start Star Trek, did it, Jason?
No.
Yeah, Jason, we have to talk about that after, actually, you and I.
All right.
But
God, leave him alone.
he has an account. But anyways, let's talk about the Crucible rewards. So
Alrighty.
you get these little things called trophy bones, and you can trade them for taunts. Like, for example, crazy laughing, chicken block. Jason could have helped us with that earlier on.
Oh, right.
The unlucky nub cake, funeral dirge, you fail, sad melody, historical crowd, game over mortal, gothic tune, and then a whole bunch of other titles. So one of them being smelly name, and name the idiot, and Sir Lame. Also, other things like Fisher Energy Boost 20%, restores 20% of your energy when using a Fisher, 24 bones. And then there's also Energy Boost for 50 and 80%, so you can use these and you get the same restoration after you go through a Fisher, and they do have a 1-minute cooldown. There's also a Supreme Champion's helmet that you can purchase if you've been named Supreme Champion and have the number of bones. And you can also fix rogue gloves. And then, of course, you can also get other rogue gloves in there from looting corpses and whatnot.
Did we touch on the Supreme Champion one?
No, we didn't. But go ahead.
Well, okay. So just straight from the text, anyone with the Supreme Champion title gets 2 minutes of invincibility and 3 unique, powerful weapons, one for each combat class, each with its own special attack and function. After these 2 minutes, the invincibility will wear off, and other players in the area have 30 seconds to wreak vengeance. And best of all, to loot the Supreme Champion's special weapons and make use of them before they disappear. You go in extra points if you kill them.
I read about that.
Okay, but I kind of like how they're giving you some PvP rewards. I think that's a really good idea, good thing to do. Hopefully, with the combat beta, we'll have the weapons will be more useful.
They are only used inside the Crucible for those like 2.5 minutes that you mentioned. I think you can't take them out, and you can't use them any other time than those.
You can only use them in the Crucible, but that's kind of the whole point, is that you're using these things just for PvP, which I'm down for it. It gives you a reason to go for it, and you get better rewards afterwards. But I
these
think
gloves aren't that great.
I never said they were great. Well, I'm talking about the weapons.
I think the biggest thing is the life point boost they give. I think they put you up to like if you have 99 HP, then I think they put you up to like 1200 or 1400, something around there. So that's pretty
and
substantial. It's
this
similar
is
to like
something else.
next stuff.
Yeah, this is something we're also going to be touching on next week because they said armors are going to be giving life point boosts. So this is interesting that this comes out beforehand. Do you guys think that that these gloves are primarily there for the life point boost? Because the stats of them aren't that great.
I would assume so.
To be honest, I would see people putting it on just so that they may have a chance to survive the 4x4 Dragon Claw spec, and they manage to survive it, then they can go back, put on whatever gloves they want, and then counterattack.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think there's really much else to say with the Crucible here. We pretty much covered it, and it is just Bounty Hunter Reborn. Do you guys think this is going to be another dead piece of content, or?
I feel like with the current system, it probably will. I don't want to say it will be, but I feel like I won't compete with the Wilderness. But I don't know how it will change once the beta comes out.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty much the biggest thing.
But the problem was the matchmaking.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I don't know where we go from there. Anyways, so that's a Crucible. As I said, if we missed anything glaring, like if this is the greatest thing since sliced bread, please do let us know. But it certainly doesn't seem that way by what we've been hearing. So let's just move on to some tweaks and fixes from this week. First off, of course, they added a high score table for this, so they are hoping people will adopt it. Back criminal bolts. What update did those come out with? I forget.
They might have been their own update, now that I think about it. But those have pretty much become dead content as well.
Yeah, they've been upgraded to work everywhere as they previously did in Castle Wars. If the target has cast combat spell within 30 seconds, they're vulnerable to being hit by the special effect targeting the head. Bloodwood trees in the Wilderness will now yield several logs, no more receiving just a single log before depletion. And the Aztec outfit is on sale at a 25% discount at 3,000 points. This offer will expire in 2 weeks.
Do you have 3,000 points right now?
Oh yeah, I have like 30,000. I haven't been spending them.
I'm saving up for Jack of all trades right now. I just bought the Supreme Rev, and I really like that one. That one's really useful. Okay, so anything else on the Crucible?
No. I'm just looking at the release notes now, and I don't see anything that groundbreaking here. Yeah, nothing major this week. Apparently, but it used to be possible to bank from afar in Port Phase Mateys.
The one I'm happy about, though, is that Fishermen for Fish Flinger minigame have been added to Living Rocks Cavern and the Barbarian Outpost. Yay! Why didn't they do that last week? I was, no lifing rocktails during last week.
They heard you say it and they added it, Trekkie.
Hey, they listened to me for once. Wicked Hood interface no longer has the teleport option on the Claim Runes section, which is good because I teleported myself a couple of times on accident.
Oh.
Let's see what else. Let's see.
Players can no longer get free kittens from Gertrude.
Crazy
cat. If only we knew.
What will you do with it?
I remember hearing a story once about a guy that had 100+ cats that he nurtured from the kitten stage all the way to the overgrown stage.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 100 cats in his bank.
Imagine how you can keep them in your house and have I can't remember what the max amount of pets you can have in your house, but just having 30 cats are running around your house. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Remember M. Shane?
I still have him.
Oh, really? He didn't die?
Oh, what did he die?
It's a fat cat.
It's a Hellcat.
Oh, okay.
I named it after you,
Anyways.
Shane. I'll take care of it.
Oh, that's good.
I named it after you and Mike, but there wasn't enough space for the C. That's dumb.
All right. So, anyways, also a floating throne in the Champions Challenge area is no longer floating. So, it's good to know. Moving on to 200 million. We finally find out what the 200 million count is going to be, and you can win lifetime membership.
Woot!
I mean, this is an okay reward, but membership is $5 a month.
7.
Oh, right. Forgot it went up. I'm still grandfathered in.
Regardless, it's pretty cheap.
Yes. So, I mean, it's a nice gesture, so there's no reason not to enter this. So basically, they want to hear as many of these things as possible. So what does 200 million accounts mean to you? What's your fondest memory of RuneScape? What content would you like to see in the future? Whether you meet with us since day one or for just one day, send us a video telling us your experiences, and you could be in the line to win some suitably massive prizes. Among the prizes up for grabs are 3 lifetime membership packs, limited edition t-shirts, and beautiful piles of signed concept art.
Yes. What does 200 million accounts mean for me? It means 195 million are bots or been banned.
Okay. What's your fondest RuneScape memory?
Killing you.
Oh.
See?
And what would you like to see in RuneScape's future?
What would I like to see in RuneScape future? Well, I'll do it for Shane. Make smithing better.
Okay. For me, 200 million accounts means for me is that RuneScape itself has reached an enormous amount of players across the entire world. It started off growing slowly and gradually picked up, I think, around the 2005 range. And even though all these people aren't playing, and some of them are probably bots, it's no small feat to get a free game, a free browser game that you start just as a little side project up to a 200 million account venture. So it definitely means that this is one of the most successful games in terms of being free to play, and that we're a part of the history of this. The fondest RuneScape memory would have to be... I need to think about that one. And what content would I like to see in the future? I'd like to see a huge map kind of southern continent type update, and expanding the farming skill and lots of other skills to be more useful.
Oh yeah, now I know what I want to see. I want them to finish up the Plague City series. Been too long. You know, I've been bugging them about that. Wrap it up. I'm tired of waiting.
What about you, Jason? What would you like to see?
I think first off, my fondest memory of RuneScape is probably getting membership for the first time after 7 years of being free to play. I finally caved in and bought some, and I've been members, I think, now for 10 months and don't really plan on stopping. And then future content, probably farming and Slayer, more high-level content for those 2 skills. I don't think there's enough.
See,
All
Shane,
right.
he's already your little prodigy. He's Paul too.
All right. So, links to the videos you sent to competitions at jagex.com. 9 a.m. BST on July 2nd. Entries must be no longer than 45 seconds. Anything longer than 45 seconds will not be considered.
Alrighty.
Okay.
Next part we
So,
have.
Are we going to
people.
enter this?
We could if we want. But then again, how
Well, I
will we
mean,
split
each
the
of us.
prize?
No, I mean, we each enter this.
Oh, I'm not gonna get picked.
Why not?
Yeah,
there's lots of people enter. It's like just random, and if you drop the podcast name and the fan site name, you might have a better chance.
Got it. Odds are I will tell the truth, and they would not like it.
Well, yeah, you tend to do that sometimes, but anyways.
All right,
So,
moving on next.
Ogblog.
Sean.
Another Og blog, this time about tradition and challenge. So this is more combat-related stuff. So we're definitely ramping up to this. As we said earlier, this starts on Tuesday. I think Tuesday. Or is
Yeah,
it
the
Monday?
26th.
Okay, so Tuesday then.
Hmm.
So essentially, what they talk about here, this one, is how they wanted to make combat essentially modernize it. And the first one there was making combat easier to access. So this is where the action bar comes in, for example. This is that little bar that we saw introduced last week along with adrenaline. So this is one of the things that they're doing. Also, display of weapon stats. So when you mouse over a piece of equipment, it'll tell you your stats, color code by any increases or decreases to your combat stats. They're also changing the way that combat is calculated. Now, this is the biggest news of this blog post, as far as I'm concerned. I'd like to hear what you guys think. Basically, combat is being recalculated so that it is now a maximum level of 200 with a much simpler formula. With that, X plus defense level plus 2 is your combat level, where X is your highest from magic, ranged, attack, or strength. What do you guys think?
So prayer and summoning no longer
Prayer
play
and
a part.
summoning are no longer combat skills.
So, okay. So if they're no longer combat skills, then summoning kind of makes a little bit of sense. They're mostly for specialty stuff anyway, but prayer is very combat related though, unless they plan to do something with it or take it out completely.
Yeah, I think those
Well,
two not being in it are the weirdest parts.
Really? Because
Yeah.
I read this and I thought, finally, this needed to be done a long time ago.
I think it's definitely better
never
than how it is now, but I think prayer and summoning should be part of it.
I've never seen prayer and summoning as combat skills, because prayer, you're not doing damage with your prayers. Maybe a little bit of reflection damage here and there, but it's insignificant. And summoning, you're not gaining any experience from this. Like, I mean, your character is not. Your familiar is doing this and passing it on to you. So, I mean, I never saw how summoning was a combat skill. I always thought Slayer was more likely to be a combat skill than summoning. But I'm happy about this, and I think it's the right decision to make, and it should have been made before. But you guys think that prayer and summoning should be a part of the calculation, right?
Well, Constitution is not part of it either.
No, but, I mean...
Okay.
The thing is that you can't do damage with Constitution, prayer, or summoning yourself.
They keep you alive.
I know they do, but that's what defense is for.
I think with how it is now, it definitely it displays how well you can do damage and defend against damage much more than the current one does. I think it does have that.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's something they wanted to do because it was a very complicated way of calculating combat before, and there were different types of combat for magic, melee, and ranged. So, I mean, it just made sense to have it that way.
The one other thing I think is strange, though, is how you still have attack and strength as two of the melee skills, but then magic and range are each on their own. So you could have 99 attack, be 1 strength, not be able to hit high at all, but be 200 combat if you had 99 defense. Which, that's still...
You know, that was brought up to me as well, that that's not necessarily very representative, but when you think about it, I think it makes sense, because let's say you're in that situation where you have 99 attack, 1 strength, 99 defense, that's 200 combat. You're still able to be fairly accurate, and let's say you were able to throw some prayers on, use some of the new buffs, and, you know, maybe with just this, you'd actually be able to hit as if you had something like 70 strength right now or something like that.
And you mentioned prayer right there, though, too.
I know, I mentioned throw some prayers on.
Well, yeah, but I think
that,
prayer could be part of the thing. Because, I mean, if you have someone who has 95 prayer and they have turmoil...
But it's not doing damage to you, so I don't see
it's
how
helping you do damage.
Yeah, but it's not exactly doing the damage. And what they're trying to do with this is make it simpler, so there's no need in order to have things that aren't actually part of the damage dealing agents.
I guess
that's the way I see it. So the current combat formula is very absurd the way it's calculated. For anyone who doesn't know, like we spent ages and ages trying to work on this thing in order to come up with a formula that will actually work, and be accurate. And we finally figured it out once they released this wallpaper with the formula on it way back when. But it goes a little something like this. So what happens is that, first off, your attack and strength levels are added together, and I think they are multiplied by 1/4. Does anybody remember if that's right?
It's either a quarter or a third, I think.
Yeah, something like that. And then defense and hit points are added together as well, and those are multiplied by 1/4.
Mm-hmm.
No, I know those two are multiplied by 1/4, but
Yes.
After that, you take prayer and summoning, and you divide it by 2 and chop off the decimal. And this was causing a problem back in the day where we would have skills that would have odd levels that would, be off because someone's prayer was off. So, I mean, it was definitely took a while to figure out that, yes, these are all being counted every other level. So, I mean, this new method is a whole lot simpler to calculate, and really, I think it's a good thing. Just because, I just tried to go through the old combat calculation here, and I don't even remember how this thing works after so long. So, definitely something to be happy about, in my view. Granted, it'll make combat calculators obsolete, but who cares,
Yeah. I think it's definitely better than the one now.
Yeah. So, anyways, I got the actual formula here. Let me just tell you what it is. So, the combat for a Members World person is... Oh, never mind, it's not here. But anyways, suffice to say, it was a very complex calculation. So,
Okay.
anyways, moving on from this part, encouraging challenging fights. So this kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the Crucible, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Because, why would you be interested in fighting something to just gain XP? Now, this is something that people were a little bit upset about, and this is why they put this little update in here. At first, they said that you will get no combat XP for fighting creatures that are 30 levels below you, while drops in Slayer XP will remain the same. But they did say that it's the stat you're training that determines how the XP is applied. So if you have a level 99 magic but one attack, so you'll get normal XP from fighting low-level monsters as long as you're training the lower stat when you do so, and you only get 10% of the XP. So that means you can't go somewhere and just say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna train this skill on these low-level monsters." What do you guys think about that?
Well, they kind of been doing that with almost every other MMO. Once you reach a certain level, you just don't get experience for any low-level ones at all. So they're just more or less just going with every other MMO: WoW, Guild Wars, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah, I'm fine with it as long as you don't get assigned a Slayer task where, when fighting it, you're only getting Slayer XP. As long as the Slayer task that you get full XP for your combat stat you're training, and I have no problem with it.
Yeah, I hope that would be one of the things that they will do here. So,
because that would be kind of, I would see that as ridiculous if you got a Slayer task where you're only getting Slayer XP and you're not actually getting combat XP, or 10% combat XP, I guess.
Yeah, because, isn't that what we all do Slayer for mostly, is the combat XP?
Yeah, because it's accelerated, because you have your Slayer helmet and you're doing extra damage.
Yep.
Slayer is a great way to combine combat because you have to use combat to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And you kill 3 birds, 1 stone. You raise Constitution, you raise whatever you're training in, and you raise Slayer.
Yay!
3 birds, 1 Mega Stone.
And I wrote an article on it this month. You want to check that out?
Oh yeah, right. I was actually going to mention that when we got to this segment. So tell us a bit about that.
But yeah, I mostly wrote it on. I guess, like the topic Trekkie was saying, it combines all these different skills. I mean, you get an accelerated speed because you have your Slayer helmet. You get that 15% bonus, and I mean it's a good money maker, and it breaks it up into different. You're not out there for hours on end. You're out there, maybe for an hour, then you come back and switch it up. It switches it up, and it's they're all the monsters drop good charms for the most part, and you get good drops from it, and it's especially good for new players because it gives them, as they progress different Slayer monsters, it gives them a good chance to, learn all these different monsters and experience more of the game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yay!
yeah.
Alrighty.
Yep. So, anyways, moving on from that. So this is being done to encourage people to fight monsters that are relevant to them, and that makes sense because people are only exploiting the system if they're fighting monsters that are of lower level to them, and it's just not fun that way.
And one thing, Trekkie, did you notice when you were killing the QBD how much more experience you got from that?
Not really. I was too busy trying to keep myself alive.
Okay. Well, I noticed like when watching people kill the QBD and stuff, like the experience multipliers you got from killing because it's such a higher level monster was insane. And so I wonder if they'll do that more with if you go to fight bosses, you'll get even more experience than if you're just on a Slayer task. I think they do that now already, but I wonder if they'll ramp it up even more.
Who knows? There's all kinds of little modifiers and stuff coming that we saw in this next behind the scenes video. I think we'll leave this OG blog here and let you guys read the rest of it, but because basically it's just about keeping true to the roots and balancing it out for future updates. So the OG blog, as you were mentioning, Jason, does show some kind of multipliers coming as you work later on in the combat system as you keep progressing through your fight. So, yeah, maybe they are trying to extend that mechanic into being more general for just any kind of combat. Okay. Well, also in the behind-the-scenes video, they revealed something that they did not want to reveal this far, and that is dual wielding. So you're wield 2 weapons at a time.
I really like this video. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, the part where the guy's holding 2 dragon scimitars.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
That is awesome.
I mean, this is. Remember, I swear I talked about this once before that dual wielding would be so interesting to see.
And even beyond. Go ahead, Trey.
I'm actually interested. How in the game you click on a weapon, it will come up into your inventory, into your wielding slot. I'm wondering if your skill bar would change a little bit as well, depending on what you're using. So they may.
Well, everything's going towards the action bar now.
Yeah. So my kind of theory is, you run in with your dragon claws, and then you charge out, and then you switch weapons, and then you do something else with it. I don't know what it would do yet, but double scimitar is cool. I'm wondering if we can if you have a 99 strength, 99 attack, 99 defense, you can wear double Bandos God swords.
Probably not, because those are a 2-handed weapon.
So?
Just like staves are going to be 2-handed in this because they increase your magic damage.
Hey, I have 99 strength. I believe I can wield 2 Bandos God sword. I'll just,
sure you can.
I'll just chain them to my arm and start spinning them around like in a little whirlwind attack.
Also, they said that because of graphical issues, you're not going to be able to wield 2 whips.
But the second one was the enhanced Excalibur from the Sears task, and I wonder if they're going to give it the same stats as the whip because they're taking away that special.
I don't know.
Because it was in the offhand, and so yeah. Go ahead.
There's lots of specials that are going to be interesting to see whether they keep around or not. So we're going to have to wait and test that out when we actually start playing with all this. But definitely a good point there.
Actually, I'm wondering now if they'll start bringing in wands.
That's what they said. You're going to be able to use a wand and then just
they already have wands.
Cast with runes. So
I didn't watch it.
That's going to be how you do dual magic casting, a wand and just runes. So we can actually go out and be like Harry Potter now.
Thou shalt
What?
not use Harry Potter in the podcast.
Oh no. I think one of the things that was cool is they showed someone had I think an arrow in one hand or like a throwing darts in one hand and then they're casting magic spells with the other, and I thought that was cool.
Yes. Multiple types of combat. Also crossbow and the scimitar as well in the same thing. So,
Yeah.
making it easier to fight with these different types of attack, because I'm betting that means that we're going to be seeing that attack types for weapons are not going to be crossing over anymore. So I think that's a good thing. But, I mean, I think this is something people are going to be more excited about than in general the Crucible, because, well, quite frankly, combat is used everywhere, and people always have preferred the wilderness for PvPing rather than their little things, you know?
Mm-hmm. And I think just the animations, all the different animations that we've seen in all these behind the scenes videos have been cool.
Oh, and we got fingers now on our players.
Yeah. I noticed that when he was holding the dragon's two-edged sword, the hand wasn't really on the sword yet, but that was funny.
Yeah.
Just holding the air.
Yeah.
Also, they have the sheathing option, so if you're just walking around RuneScape in general, you can sheath your weapon on your side or on your back if it's a bow. What?
Nothing. It's gonna be interesting to see people walking around with a giant sword sticking out of their back.
Well, one thing I am definitely looking forward to in this is being able to use a bow again for trading, because there's been no incentive to use a bow since crossbows came out, so I'm really looking forward to using a bow and arrow.
Ooh, that means I should stock up on rune arrows.
Yeah, I've been doing that too. I got lots of iron arrows too, so maybe now would be a good time to dump them.
Let's see. What else would I think? I got nothing else to really say about this one. You want to move on to the next?
Yeah, I'm finished with that, so
Right,
let us move on. And also, the behind-the-scenes video for this was behind-the-scenes 6. For some reason, it wasn't linked in or was it linked in dual wielding? Yes, it was. Never mind. Anyways, moving on. Grab the gold. So this is another update that's ruffling the feathers of the RuneScape community. What do you guys think of this one?
There was a big discussion in the friends chat last night about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Basically, what's going to be happening now is that since they're approaching 200 million accounts, they're going to be adding a 200 million GP prize on the wheel.
Still not gonna be me.
Oh, it could be. You know, it only takes one chance, just like I got my little ship on Star Trek Online.
It's still not random on Squeal of Fortune. I quit caring about what I get, so I just I just start randomly clicking. I don't care anymore. And then I still haven't gotten any nice rare items that I was promised for if I haven't gotten any rare items in a while. So yeah. And last,
okay, so
what's up?
Tell us about the discussion in Friends Chat if you're finished there.
Jason, go.
There was just a lot of people who were upset about, more Squeal of Fortune updates, and it was just, general ranting about how they're putting out more Squeal of Fortune updates than regular game updates.
Okay. Now I'm going to come to the defense of this thing again and say that this is a good idea because we all know that the problem in RuneScape was gambling, and if people could put a little bit of money into something like this, maybe it would subdue the gambling thing. And just because this prize is on here, the 200 mil prize, I'm thinking maybe that might be enough to force people to do this. In my view, of course, the only thing missing is the ability to buy spins in-game with money, because we do need another money sink.
Yes, that would be nice.
Yeah, it would. Also, this weekend, coin prizes are multiplied by 5, so 1,000, 5,000, 5,000, 25,000, and so on. So it's definitely a good weekend to play Squeal of Fortune and buy some spins if you're at all interested in that. And there's nothing wrong with buying spins. I know there are people out there who are going to say this is real world trading. It's against everything Jagex stands for, but in reality, it's not. It's not real world trading. Because it is, of course, endorsed by Jagex, and you will get something every time. it is a little bit like gambling. I still wish there'd be a bit of an age gate on it, but ultimately I don't think it's a bad thing to have in the game.
And I feel like it has less of an effect on the game than people make it out to be. Like I'm not really for
Yeah.
it at all, but I really don't oppose it that much. I don't feel like it hurts my gameplay at all.
No, because you can play the game and you don't need to do anything on the squeal. You can even just play the game and not use your spins if you want.
Yeah, the only reason I
Like,
actually spin is just to get the damn icon off the screen.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but there's lots of other good things that you can get from it, like the medium-sized lamps, for example. Those are great for training summoning.
I never get those. Not for summoning.
Oh, really?
Anyway.
I got 2 this week.
Usually I am getting them, but they end up being specific skills, and usually they're combat related, which is like I don't need I need more experience in attack and strength.
My worst drop this week was 4 emeralds.
My worst drop was 4 times I got 1,000 coins. Like I said, I don't care anymore, so I'm just like I get in, I just collect, and I was like I don't care anymore. I'm not gonna get it, and yeah, and interestingly enough, Shane. 3 out of 4 spins landed in the exact same spot.
Interesting.
Told you, it's not random. I
guess it's just a matter of practice then. So, moving on from that, Squeal of Fortune, love it or hate it, it's been updated. So next up, another vanity item. Get your Flaming Skull. So those who purchase a 90 or 100-day game card between June 22nd and July 15th will receive a Flaming Skull. It's, of course, worn in the head slot. It's a cosmetic item that will replace your character's head with a fully animated and furiously flaming skull. Comes in 4 colors, which can be changed at any time. Game cards are purchasable from GameStop in the US, EB Games in Canada, and Game in the UK. Offer does not apply to cards bought online.
I like the skull. It looks nice on the picture they have. I don't
know.
Yeah,
this is one of the few vanity items I'd actually be tempted to get. It's just I don't need the membership.
I might be picking one up because I think my membership runs out here soon. I buy the cards every 3 months, so I think I might pick one up. And if I do, I'll post some pictures on RuneWire for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be good. So again, these are another things that some people don't like. So I mean, we can't please everyone, but of course, there's nothing wrong with getting a little extra something if you purchase a membership card. I think. Did you, Jason, get anything from the last card you purchased, or no?
No, actually, I think I've purchased maybe 4 cards now, and they've been between vanity periods or something like that. I don't really know.
Okay.
I must have just missed them all. Or
well,
I think it could be because I'm not buying from I haven't bought from the retailers.
Oh, okay.
They're only offered at certain places. I'm not really sure.
Right.
But...
Well, I think that does us for RS updates this week. If I'm ready to move on, unless you guys have anything else.
Nope.
Can't wait till Monday.
Tuesday.
Damn it!
All right, moving on to questions now. So, first question this week is from Duke Juker, which I will read. Oh dear, it's an essay. RS questions. It's going to be a lightning round. First off, if someone was new to members like me, what top info or advice would you give them? Also said Jagex. So, number 1, Jason, you can take this one because you're the newest member here.
Advice. I think quests are good to do. I think he's been doing them, and try out all the different skills, level them all up. Don't stick to one particular skill. I think try everything you can.
Okay. Yeah, my main advice is going to be do as many quests as you can, because quests open up the world substantially and make the game a little bit easier. And also, not to mention, you do get 2 free spins from each quest you complete now. Just keep trying to focus on all skills, and I think you'll probably quickly find out what your favorite skill is, favorite member skill, I think, because that becomes fairly quickly apparent. So number 2, should Jagex provide people with the option to not trim their skill capes?
What would be the point of that?
to look better? Because I know I want my untrimmed farming cape. And you
Eh,
probably want your untrimmed fishing cape.
I don't mind it. I don't mind
Okay,
it
what
trimmed.
about you, Jason?
I don't really see any reason to. It's been like that for years now. Just I mean, you get a second 99 and then trimmed. That's how it is. I don't know.
Okay, make the quest cape trimmable. I don't see what you'd trim it with, or what you'd have to do to get it trimmed. Any
I think you
ideas?
could I think you could trim it with like if you did all the subquests. If you did
Oh,
Rag and
maybe.
Bone Man and you got the ghostly robes and all, you did all the little subquests. I think that could trim it. But I don't see them
Yeah,
doing that.
yeah. Okay. Should Jagex give people a bonfire for cooking to boost their life points?
Nah.
Does this mean like if you because right now you throw 5 logs on the fire, you get the life point boost as you want. If you cook 5 fish, you get a
Yes.
life point boost.
Yeah, something like that, I think.
Nah.
Yeah, don't really see any reason for it now.
No,
Uh,
because you're cooking the fish, and you're going to need to eat the fish, right? So that's
mhm.
going to be your life point boost.
Okay, next one. Allow
And
compost
allow
potions to.
compost potions to be makeable by players. Nope. Because super compost is so easy to make. Just if
Oh,
you've
and
done a lot of
pineapples.
farming, you'll end up with lots of watermelons or pineapples. Even you can get for free. Just go to the guy on Karamja who can give you free pineapples daily, and you can use those to make your super compost. So I mean, it's not too terribly hard to make super compost. So I don't see that as necessary.
I just have two. What was it? Two fruit trees with pineapples that I just gather them every once in a while. I
Yeah,
never
there
ran
you
out.
go.
I never
And I
ran out.
just I just use the spell. I'm always on the lunar spell book, so I just use the fertile soil spell, and I never have to worry about it.
Right, and see, this is another reason why if you do quests, the game becomes easier because you get access to the lunar spell book.
All right.
So, tech question: where do you get your tech news? Lots of places. I go to
Twitter.
Dig. I go to my Twitter feed. I do CNET. I do The Verge. I do Ars Technica. I go pretty much everywhere. Gaming
Um,
question: do you think games are better? Oh, you have something to add to the tech part?
oh no, I was just gonna give I mean, Reddit is where I get most of mine, I think.
Sigh.
Oh,
Gaming question: do
I
you
don't
think
I don't take
games
it
are
that
better
seriously there, but sorry, go ahead.
when if you die, you have to start a game all over, or where your progress is saved?
That depends on the game. If it's one of those long games like Skyrim or what is it, Fallout, starting all over is just a pain in the butt. So,
Yeah,
for those
and
long games, it's good to have progress save every once in a while because it makes it a lot easier. For many
yeah,
other games, I sometimes it's better because you kind of know everything, so you can have a better run.
I
but
really don't
I
have
mean,
an opinion on it. I mean, like you have a game like Diablo where you can choose, and I think that's kind of cool. You can choose regular mode or hardcore mode where you die and you lose everything. I think that's kind of a cool option.
I mean, I'm gonna agree that the save and progress thing is the best way to go because um, more and more games are meant to be like a story or a movie kind of thing, you know. So the idea is to let you experience that story, not to make it so utterly painful that you go need to experience the same part of the story 3 times in a row just to advance on. If you catch my drift, so I'm all for the save and progress.
Let's see.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I'd probably choose that one. I really don't want to start over again most of the time.
Like, let's say you spend 90 minutes on a game and you die, and then you have to go back and spend that same amount of time. Is that really worth it? Is that advancing the story? Is that making you want to play the game? Is that making you want to spend more money on DLC? Is that making you want to give more money to that company? No, it's not.
If you play this to RuneScape, do you think that like the graves that how over the years they've been more generous with you can get a longer grave now, 5 years ago there weren't graves at all. Do you think that's better or worse?
Well, that's different because you're actually carrying these items, and you die and you lose items. You don't lose all the progress you made since you started whatever you're doing. So I see that as a bit different, but I think it's a nice add-on to be able to keep your items like that. There are places I don't think it's a good thing, like boss fights or the wilderness, for example, which I know that doesn't happen in the wilderness, but it does happen in boss fights, so a little bit split on that. Last question. At Trekkie and Jason, I think I know Shane's answer. If you could be the number one spot in any RuneScape Hill Sky skill high score, which skill would you want?
So Shane, is your farming?
Sure.
That sounds like a no.
Yeah, sure.
That still sounds like a no.
Yes.
Okay, Jason, you go. What's up?
I don't really care for the high scores too much, but I think
Oh, think of it this way: you're getting a free 99. So what would you get as a 99?
taking a free 99, I wouldn't really want a free 99. I want to get it myself. That's the thing. But I think if like I don't know, I guess I'll just say Magic since it's my 99 right now, so I'll go with that. How about you, Trekkie?
I would get smithing up to 99 because then I don't have to deal with it anymore.
But
I'm
it's
number
such a
one.
useless skill.
Yes, but then as soon as I get it out of the way, the better I would be. I don't have to worry about it. If I can, I don't want to spend this anymore. I don't want to spend it anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to spend the bars anymore. I'll be done with it. Like, all right, I'm done. It's like, me and crafting. I got a 99. I'm done. Ooh, but I can still make money. Okay.
All right, thank you, Duke Junior. Jason, you want to read the next one?
Sure. Okay. So is this two parts? Yeah, there you go. Okay. So I'm currently about 50k tokens away from a chaotic weapon. I spent 10k on the Scroll of Life and 32k on the Bone Crusher. But anyways, my combat stats are 80 attack, 83 strength, 76 defense, 81 hit points, 65 magic, 70 ranging, and 69 prayer, and 51 summoning. I want to do some bossing with some friends and a little bit of Slayer. But then I can also get 85 dungeoning for Frost Dragons. Anyways, the question is, which chaotic weapon should I get?
Rapier.
Yeah, rapier. No question.
That's always the first one you always get. But quite honestly, if you're just starting dungeoneering up, the number one things you get are all the scrolls. Every single scroll, herblore scrolls, and smithing scroll is iffy. That depends if you want to train smithing later on. But the herblore scrolls,
what does the smithing scroll do?
You have a chance of saving 1 bar depending on what you're making.
Oh, okay.
But the chance increase with every depending how much, if you're making a plate or a leg, so chances increase depending on how many bars you use. Herblore scrolls are the best because they save you so much money in the long run.
Yeah, they really do.
So those are always the number one things you get. That is the number one. Get every single scroll, especially if you're a low level. Those the herblore scrolls will save you a lot of money.
I'm gonna agree and say rapier or the longsword if you're looking for just hard hittingness. But I think next week all this is gonna be rendered obsolete because let's remember that with any weapon you're gonna be able to train strength. So let's say you can train strength with the whip after this combat update. So I mean,
one of the biggest appeals. Yeah, one of the biggest appeals of the rapier is just it has the stab option, which all the dragons are weak to, and that kind of stuff for Slayer. It's really helpful.
And it's a pretty fast weapon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Trekkie.
Yo.
Stab, stab, stab.
Do you want to take me off today?
All right. Second part.
Second part. So second question is, after level 99 fishing, he's 91 at the moment. Which should I go for? 99 mining, currently at 60, or 99 magic, currently at 65. Thanks, guys. Keep up the great show. Also, do you think the fish mask was a mistake on Jagex' part because they've said in the past that they won't make rares anymore? Or do you think that doing it was to make money as people will buy more spins because they need money as they aren't making as many bots anymore? Last question, do you think it will be as rare, or it will be the next rare, or do you guys think that next summer they will bring it back and so on? Also, I got 99 agility a month ago, but haven't been on to tell you, so you can mention it in your show.
Okay.
I'll let Trekkie, or I don't know, you guys talk about that first.
First things first, slow down. Get 99 fishing. enjoy the other skills. Don't rush something currently at level 60 all the way to 99 or 65. That's just too much of a rush for the type of gameplay that I like to promote. Just enjoy the skill as you're doing it. You might go on further and discover that you don't like 99 in this skill, or there's something else that's more appealing to you to get to 99. So, just don't rush it. But as for the fish mask, I think that's perfectly fine. Part of the whole reason we got in this whole rare market thing that we have now is because, well, they never added any rare items because they didn't think the player base could handle having rare items added in the game, when in reality, it's just like real life. Not everyone can have every item. So it just depends what you're lucky enough to get. We don't need to be holding the hands of the players. That would be my stance if I was at Jagex. And, if I was at Jagex, we probably would have added more rare items along the way since the last rare item was added, which I think was the Easter egg.
Easter egg? I think it was. I can't remember anymore.
It's been years, so.
Let's see, what else did she ask? Buy more spins? No, one other thing, there are still plenty of bots in the game, so they're not making money off the spins just to supplement the income. They're just doing it for a little extra profit.
Yeah, and what's wrong with that?
I didn't say anything wrong with it. I just said they're just making little extra profit. And anything else? No, that's it.
Yeah.
Except for this one.
Jason, you have anything on that?
Yeah, I agree. Don't grind out the 99s. Take your time. Do them both at once. Level them up each equally. And the fish mask, I don't really care.
I bought one for 3.1 mil, and people on RuneWire were saying they bought it for 3.3 and 3.5. So I feel better because I didn't spend as much as them, but I don't know what it's at now.
I have no idea.
I think the Grand Exchange price is at like 1 something, but I don't know. I haven't followed it at all because I don't care for cosmetic items, really.
Probably off by quite a bit, I'd imagine.
It's really off right now. Let's see. What is the price of it right now, according to the
1.1, give or take, 40K. So,
but yeah, like you said, that could be totally off.
Yeah, because the time I bought it, and I was buying from the Grand Exchange, the guide price was 500K, but I had to buy it for like 6 times that.
But more and more are coming into the game right now.
They never seem to get the guide prices right whenever they introduce a new item into the game. They're always way too low.
That's one of the problems with the Grand Exchange is that there are guide prices. Those guide prices need to be removed, in my opinion. But that's a topic for another show. Also, just one thing, Green Taros, regarding your achievement, your level 99 agility. In order to get on the Achievements of the Week segment at the end of the show, you need to be a part of our community high scores, which have a certain requirement of having been a member for at least 1 month, posted on the forum in the last month, and logged in or visited within the past week. So, anyone else have anything there?
Nope. That was all you.
All right. The next question is from Ring. Dear hosts of RSBAND Update, I'd like to just throw that in, that we are called RSBAND Update, since RSBAND is the fan site. Which college should I go to?
The one that you like. Case closed. Next question.
Yeah, it's a fairly personal decision, and you need to go based on where your funds will allow you to go, where it has a decent program, and where you feel is the type of institution you want to go to. Do you want to go to somewhere that focuses more on practical training, or do you want to go to a research-based university, something like that?
And I think with what little information we know, we can't really help you out at all.
And it's not something that you need to refer to other people with. First things first, I'd imagine, before you even start thinking about this, is have a concrete idea of what you want to do, because if you don't, there's no point in going and wasting money. Am I right?
Yeah, there are definitely a lot of... I just finished my freshman year at college, and there's definitely a lot of people who are wasting their time there.
Yeah, or they're just going because they're expected to go and they'll get one of those things called an arts degree. But anyways, yeah, so it just depends on your situation, but this is, for everybody out there who's listening, it's something that you definitely want to research.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
All right, I'll do it. Let's see. Question from veteran. Howdy, host. I was sitting in class when I had a random idea. What if dinosaurs were added into the game? Obviously, they would have a warrant. It would have to warrant a quest, as dinosaurs don't appear out of nowhere. Perhaps something to do with dig sites, since I'm assuming they dig up fossils. And with dinosaurs, loads of other NPCs could be added, even more herbal potions. Just a thought. V. All right, Shane, should they add dinosaurs in?
That would be going a little too much on the fantasy side, I think.
Shane, we talked to...
It's just like the dinosaur Pokemon.
What's the dinosaur Pokemon? Is that the new thing that's coming out right now, or?
No, the flying dinosaur fossil one. The extinct one.
Oh, the big black hairy one. The big black scaly thingy.
I don't know. I only know the first 150, so it's in one of those. But in any case, no, there should not be. Yes, 151. There should not be dinosaurs.
I think if they add it into the game, I don't know what you do with them, considering what do you hope to do? Start your own Terra Nova in the game? I'm sure Shane would love that idea, though. We can actually start the whole series in RS, or they can do it themselves. Like, hey, can we, just to cheapen up, can we make it in your browser-based game? We'll just put it as a web series.
Oh, that would work. Okay, if they're gonna do that, I'll say sure. Add dinosaurs.
I'm sure Shane would gladly donate some to RS for doing that too.
Anyway, what other things would they be able to add?
Let's see. Well, they'd be able to add a car, Flint and Stone style.
Why?
Why not?
A car?
Okay.
Yeah, Fred Flintstone style,
Oh, all right.
Dabba-dabba-doo. Shane never...
Built by the dwarves? Yes, I did watch the Flintstones.
Well, they found a way to get monkeys in there, so I think we could have dinosaurs. We had that monkey weekend or whatever.
Monkey Madness.
Oh, yeah,
No
that was
apparent
great,
reason.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
They should have made those barrel of monkeys a rare item. Shoot, people actually use those.
Yeah, they could have. Hey.
I still have 3 of them, I think, in my bank. I'm waiting for a good time to use them.
Yeah, I only got 1, but
I used them all.
Anyways.
I was like, it was stupid. We're herbal or potions. There'll be a lot of dinosaur bones to grind up.
Oh dear, that would not be fun.
Herbal or medicine.
Yeah, so thank you, veteran, for the question. Next one is from Forged. Dear guest host Jason, think of reasons for me to play again. Short but sweet. This is another one that you're well versed in.
I'd say, people, your friends. We talked the other day, and that's one thing you mentioned, that you still had friends on here that you miss talking to, and then I guess you have your maxing goal that you could still pursue. But I definitely think if you're done having fun with the game, there's no reason just to keep playing. But, if you can find a reason, sure. I can't come up with any really off the top of my head besides those two.
Didn't you write an article about this? Why I stopped
I wrote.
RuneScape?
Yeah, I wrote. Well, I play RuneScape just because I still have fun with it, and I think if the day I stop having fun with it is the day I'll stop playing. So I think if you're having fun with other things, then no reason really to come back. But if you would enjoy it, then yeah. And
this is also why I said to the other person here who asked a question about getting 99s, is I said don't rush, because if you rush, you're not going to have anything left to do in the game.
Yeah.
So, it just makes sense to take it slow. Sure, if you want to get good 99 that you're extremely happy about, like I did with farming, I see that as fine because you enjoy it, but don't rush to get 99 and everything else just because you do that. And this goes to a saying I have: don't become a collector of 99s. Get a 99 because you want to get a 99 and you have a reason to get it and you like the skill. So just don't get 99s to max yourself out.
Hmm. Yeah, and you take breaks for a few months, and people do that all the time, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But as for some actual reasons to play, we really can't tell you how to play, but one of the reasons I think that people are going to start playing again this summer is it's going to be like the summer of construction, is because that was something that was wanted for ages. The combat update. Combat's changing in such a substantial way. I mean, it'd be perfect time to train and max out your combat, So, at least for me, I'm going to get 99 Constitution this summer because I'm level 98 now. And that's something I wanted to do for a while, and it's on my 2012 to-do list. So, I think the best thing I can do is to say you have to find your own reasons, but I can help you with that and say that you need to focus on skills that you find fun and interesting. For me right now, that's summoning, so I am kind of geared around that. So what you should do is set up a to-do list of things that you want to do in RuneScape, and ultimately you'll end up finding out how you can do these and just accomplish them on your own time and don't rush.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyways,
Sorry
I'm
if that
finished with that one.
wasn't enough, but yeah, I like what Shane said.
Trekkie,
you have anything else?
Yeah, if you're getting bored, take the break. When you come back, all the quests come, they hopefully will add new quests and everything else, so you'll have more incentive to get back into it. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Things happen.
Yeah, and you'll be totally refreshed too. So, I mean, I'm kind of burnt out after my rune spanning, even though it is rune span. So, I've just been doing a bit of coding and stuff just to keep my mind off that. So take a break. Trekkie, you want to read the last one?
All right, dear host. Do you like or dislike the fact that RS seems to be shifting toward the style of other popular MMOs such as World of Warcraft with a content preview in the combat beta, i.e. the action bar, buffs, agility, etc., from Poison Nova?
Not in the slightest. There's still so many things that are different about RuneScape and conventional MMOs that make RuneScape not even a typical MMO in the sense of what MMOs are. So I don't think it's drifting towards that too fast. I think it's okay for them to pick up a few features from those games like that, but it's nowhere near like those games. And that's what makes it unique.
Mm-hmm. And the current, I think most of the changes are going to come with the combat system, and I think the combat system it's pretty old and it needs a revamp anyway. And taking stuff from other MMOs isn't a bad thing because they're successful, and yeah, like you said, and it's not going to become World of Warcraft. There's still, it's still totally different.
Yeah, and the RuneScape playing model is different than everything else. World of Warcraft is based around the raiding and, of course, the content you do once you're higher level. Whereas RuneScape, there's content to do across all levels. So, I mean, that's entirely different. And this is what I was saying, is that the DNA of RuneScape isn't going to change.
Yeah, because skills still take many, many hours to max level, and so it's about getting to the higher levels rather than getting to the higher levels really quickly and then doing something.
Yeah, and some more than others, and I going back, I kind of wish that skills like runecrafting, fire making, thieving, and stuff would still be kind of slow, as in skills that take longer to level, kind of like how they were designed to be in RuneScape Classic. But I think we're finished with that one, unless anybody else has anything.
Nope.
Alrighty then. Remember, you can send us your questions. Questions topic will be posted on Monday, most likely, on the forums at rsbnb.com/forums. Also, you can email the questions to questions@rsbnb.com if it's an audio question, or you can leave us a voicemail at 571-572-2632. All right, tech news. On the surface, it looks nice, but inside, it's still Windows. Isn't that true?
Oh.
So this is regarding Microsoft's Surface tablet that was unveiled earlier this week. So initial thoughts, Jason.
I haven't looked into it too much, but I'm not big on tablets really. I'd prefer the regular or machine.
Okay, Trekkie.
Well, it didn't work out very well in the show. Basically, what happened was there's a little video where what's the spokesperson's name again?
That's Steven Sinofsky, head of Windows.
Well, he tried to show off the tablet and it wasn't working. So that's not a good start. But then again, it's still a little bit early, so hopefully they'll iron out that little problem that they're having. But
well, at least it didn't blue screen on a big projection screen like I think Windows 2000 did or something when Bill Gates was demoing it.
Yeah, I was thinking of that too. But basically, I'm hoping they I'm actually hoping that they actually will become a good competitor versus the iPad. My opinion, competition is good. So hopefully they can actually.
Yes, competition is good.
So hopefully they can actually fight with the iPad, and that will hopefully drive prices down, and you never know. The $99 iPad.
Two things here. First things first, I think this feels more like a Zune device. After all, the Zune did come out much after the original iPod did, and look where the Zune is now. So let's just remember that these kind of things, these kind of initiatives with Microsoft can just die flat out like this. So I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'd say it's a possibility, definitely, just because it's 2.5 years too late for the to compete against the iPad form factor, when everybody knows the iPad is the tablet out there that is the ultimate in terms of tablets, and there's also a huge ecosystem on there, whereas the whole Windows Metro thing hasn't even got started yet because Windows 8 hasn't shipped. So we're going to be in much like a situation when the first iPad, well, not even the first iPad because you could use the iPhone applications on it, but we're going to be in a situation where there's hardly any native Metro touch type applications that you can use. So that's something we have to remember. And secondly, I'll say that Surface. You guys remember the Surface technology demos from a few years back?
No.
No.
Basically, what Surface was a huge table, and it was a touchscreen table, and it was basically like an interactive computer on a table, and you were able to do all kinds of things with it, like look up information, browse the web, put cameras on it to download. It was geared towards the information kiosk type market. So it's interesting that Microsoft took the Surface name and started using it on their tablet.
What do you think of the keyboard edition compared to the iPad?
I think the keyboard is there because so many people don't like the iPad because it doesn't have a keyboard, and everybody is still chained to this idea that you need a keyboard and mouse to navigate, when in reality you don't. I think it's a nice bridging device, the keyboard. I think the keyboard is there primarily for the enterprise users.
Okay.
It's just so much easier to type with the keyboard than on the touch screen.
I didn't even notice it.
Unless you try to use the voice recognition software on it.
I don't know if you have much experience with touchscreens, Jason, but I find that completely the opposite, Trekkie. I can type perfectly on a touchscreen.
Nah, not me. I always have to hold it with one hand because I'm not laying it flat on a table. So I always have to use one finger at a time. It's not like I can put the iPad down because I'm usually not anywhere near a table to put it down anyway.
Well, what about on your phone? How's your touch typing work there?
Well, phone is a little bit smaller, so I can actually use both thumbs. Okay. You can use both thumbs on an iPad.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
There's a keyboard the keyboard modification. You can split the keyboard in two, and you can hold it up in a portrait position and type that way. But another thing with this is that it's going to there's going to be two versions, an Intel and ARM version. So they're both going to be running different versions of Windows. But that's interesting that they did this, that they did an Intel and ARM version. But I don't know. I hope that this is the device that will sell Windows 8 and get people to get hooked on Windows 8, because I know there are so many doubters out there for Windows 8, but I really like Windows 8. So if anything, I hope this will be a good device to promote Windows 8.
And if it fails, we can wait for Windows 10. They probably skip 9.
No.
They probably skip 9 anyway, just go straight to 10.
Now remember the odd even rule.
No, I mean, like, it's gonna be Windows 8 and then straight on to
XP
Windows
good,
10.
Vista bad, 7 good, 8 bad with a question mark.
No, basically, Shane, I mean that they're just gonna skip 9. There won't be a Windows 9.
Why would they skip 9?
Why would they have a 9?
Because it's the next one.
Yeah, and they've started with 7 for some reason.
So yeah, and
so
why didn't you call it Windows 1?
To 8, so why not go to 9? Well, Windows 1 was Windows 1. Windows 2, I'm not sure what happened to that. Then we got confused and everything. But anyways, that's a topic for the lineage of Windows one day. Next up, more Microsoft news. Windows Phone 8. Just a week after iOS 6 was announced. So, any thoughts on Windows Phone 8?
Windows Phone 8. My contract is not going to expire for another year and a half, so I can't do anything with it. So,
well, you'll be perfect time to get the iPhone 5S then.
I don't want the iPhone.
Why not?
Because I don't care for the iPhone. I am one of those few people on this planet who does not care about the iPhone. Shane, that is not a secret. Okay?
All right. Windows 8, Windows Phone 8, I mean, has a new start screen primarily, and a few other changes under the hood. But the main stuff is with the start screen. Essentially, it's more customizable, and you can modify the size of the tiles to display small amount of information or even more information. I actually like the UI of Windows Phone 8. I think it's a great way to be heading. And they're actually taking a page out of Apple's book in that there are past phones who are not going to be able to use the Windows Phone 8 operating system. But there is an update that will give current Mango users the start screen. So, I'm assuming here we don't care about Windows Phone 8, and I'm just talking about this because I felt it was necessary to give them equal coverage, just in case there's someone out there who is a Windows Phone 8 fan.
Yeah, I don't have a smartphone. I feel like if I were to get a smartphone, I would either choose between an Android just because it's linked in with Google, and I use a lot more Google products than Windows products, or I would go with an iPhone. I don't think I would get a Windows phone.
Yeah. And, the thing is that you can link the iPhone to just as many Google products as you can with Android phones, so they're essentially the same in that way. But moving on, the 3DS XL. Does anyone care about this kind of gaming anymore?
I feel like it's more for the younger generation. I don't know. I don't follow that much, and I never had one of these little Nintendo handhelds.
Well, the 3DS XL is going on sale on August 19th, and it's 90% larger than the original 3DS. I got lost at Game Boy Advance, so I don't know what the heck's been happening since then.
Game Boy Advance was the best one. It was more ergonomically designed than Nintendo SP. It was just like, what is this? So small. And then it came out with the DS, and that was okay, but to be honest, I cannot play that system very long because my fingers start hurting because the way I'm holding it. You would actually see the Game Boy kind of have marks on my finger because I'm having trouble holding it. It's just really small. But they're making it bigger and bigger and bigger, and I'm just thinking to myself, when will it stop being considered a handheld?
Yeah, and that's the thing.
These
portable gaming devices, I think, are in the league with smartphones because you could use a smartphone as such a device. But you don't really hear much more about Nintendo blazing the trails anymore with new gaming consoles and devices, do you?
The thing is, for me though, is that it's getting harder and harder to actually fit into your pocket. And that's kind of the point of handheld is to kind of take it play games wherever you are. And well, if you have a hard time putting it in your pocket and it's not really portable, not much is it? I mean, not everybody has giant patent pockets that can stuff it in, or the sweater pockets.
Yep.
Whee!
And why wouldn't Nintendo announce this at E3? That was just happening a few weeks back.
They wanted more spotlight.
Yeah, but that was my thoughts exactly too with this, and that's also kind of why Microsoft waited a while to say anything, because you could have spun the Surface tablet as an E3 gaming device, couldn't you?
Well, also remember, I think they were actually trying to show off the Wii U, so I think that was their main focus. This new console right here, and I think the problem is not. As I remember, it's not really. Is it HD supported now, or is it kind of?
Yes, it is HD supported finally, but that's it.
But yeah, I don't think it'll be that big of a difference. I'm sure they'll get some decent, great games on it. They love their Mario and Zelda. They'll take care of those two mascots to end of time.
I don't know that Nintendo's on the right track here, and it just seems like they're fading slowly away.
Well, it still prints money.
Yeah, well, that can be a discussion question for you guys listening to this. What do you think of Nintendo? Are they fading away, or do they still hold a place in the world?
I still like Nintendo. Whenever I go to my cousin's place, he has a Wii, and I love playing Mario games with him because we can actually play together with all the new games that are coming out. I mean, it's one of those few things. Other cousin.
Okay.
Bad boy. But the problem is, one thing I do like about the Wii is that you're still 4-player. Ooh, hi, Mom. Hi, Jason's
Continue.
mom. Well, the thing is that I like that it has a 4-player controller. 4 players can play together in the same room. You don't have to have a Wi-Fi and all that stuff. And it's nice to say, like, okay, here's 4 controllers. Here's the nice big screen TV. All right, let's have some fun. And they can do that for hours. And
yeah, that is the benefit of Nintendo. So tell us what you think about this. But it's time we move on to other things, including the June Skill of the Month update, which is summoning.
Oi.
Same as last week, no point.
Really? Nothing at all?
Yes, it
wow.
is. Nothing at all.
What? No. There's a little. Look at that. Right there. And on the 16th, there was like a little bit of increase, and then there was another one on the 19th and 20th.
I think he's just doing a little bit of like maybe his jacket trades or something to pad his lead.
Yeah, maybe. But first, One Stone Poem still in the lead with 2.9 million XP. Second is Optimaniac with 1.8 million. And Jason, you're slightly behind him by 7K at 1.8 as well.
Jason, bad boy, get it higher. What's going on?
I ran out of charms after like the first day. I've been doing Bork daily, and I get about I get the 10 blues and 17 crimsons a day, and I've been doing that for the whole month, and so I have those saved up, so I think I'll do that a bit, but I won't nearly get to first.
Do familiarization.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that now with just over a week left in the month, but you could if you have the charms.
Yeah, but don't anymore. I'll pull out second, I think.
Or you buy like 1,000 spins and go for the lamps and put them on the summoning.
That is an option.
There you go. You could do that.
I'm sure Shane would love that idea. Pay for your skill.
Sure.
Hey, see? All works out. All right. You can ask the community to donate to you. I'm broke, so ask Duke. Well, ask Duke. He has money.
All right.
Oh, okay. That's great. So, come on, Jason. Make it interesting.
I'll do my best.
We
All
got
right.
2 achievements this week. The Lion with 99 Dungeoneering on the 20th. Congratulations.
And Forged RS with 99 mining on the 18th.
Congratulations as well. Both good
Yay.
seals.
Now go for 120
All
dungeon.
right. Yeah, that's going to be... I'm waiting for the day we see 120 Dungeoneering on our achievements here. So,
Alrighty.
your pick.
All right. This was shown by one of our moderators on the forums, Southern. He posted this, and it's basically a nerd test. So it's pretty simple. There's a whole bunch of tests on this little website, and just we're all nerdy in our own right. So let's see how nerdy everyone is. So I was considered a cool lightweight nerd.
Okay.
I know, and my dork level was less than 40%, so which I'm happy with. Certain somebody here was
Mine was
64% on the dork meter.
No, mine was 38.
Not you, someone else.
Who?
Me?
Not naming you. Not saying anything.
Okay. Mine called it a cool high nerd. 88% math, 78% technology, 44% sci-fi, 71% history / literature.
I think what put you down, Shane, was not knowing what a lightsaber was.
I said I don't have one.
Well, technically Benny has one, but it's not mine, so I didn't count it.
Oh, okay. Benny's your son.
Shane, don't make me whip you.
All right. So that is the nerd test, and you can find that in the show notes at update.rsbnb.com. So tell us about your show contest. Is that over, or are you still running it?
Still
next
one
week?
more week. There's still
Okay.
Still 2 more weeks, so it's not the end of June yet. So we have 1 more week, and then I'll pick a winner. So basically, just post a question, audio question, either one, and you're entered in. And the more questions you ask, the higher chance of you winning. And it's gonna be completely random. So
Okay.
you'll win a small prize. Won't say what it is.
This week was the last week to enter my competition, so next week I will be announcing my winner. And once again, that one will be completely random, so look forward to hearing that on next week's show.
Woo!
All right, so what have we been doing? Jason, you can go first.
Well, in RuneScape, I've been doing a lot of herb lore. I went from 90 to 94 this past week, and I've been doing a lot of chinning as well. I think I'm gonna get close to 99 with what I have, but I'm not really sure. And then, just been relaxing here at home. Moved back home middle of last week, so I've just been enjoying summer, playing RS.
Okay. Anything else you want to share?
No, not really.
All right. As for me this week, as I mentioned, I did a bit of playing around in the Xcode environment because I was just trying to see if I could make this thing do something, and I did, but it's not exactly the most prettiest thing to play around with, but that's that. Also, I finished and I got 90 rune crafting. No, I'm not getting 91, and I'm done at RuneSpan for a while.
Go get it sooner or later.
No, I'm finished. If I ever get 91 rune crafting, I'm going to do it through ZMI.
Okay.
So, that's pretty much all I've been doing this week. And you?
I haven't done much in RS this week. I was too busy this whole week just doing everything over here. So more or less, I just did my Citadel and did a little bit of slaying. Almost to 91 Slayer, so I'm happy about that.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yes, I think I was like 40k or less to 91. Then I can kill the ice worms.
Right. Okay. Well, I think that means we're finished for this week, unless anyone else has anything to mention.
Nope.
All right.
Stay frosty, because I know it's pretty hot in many places right now.
Okay, well, with that being said, we'll see you all next week, everyone. And remember, if you have anything you want to talk about, you can do that on our forums at rsbnb.com/forums. Look forward to seeing you there. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening to this portion of RSBNB Update. You can find the full episode and more at update.rsbnb.com. Also remember to stop by our community and join our forums at rsbnb.com/forums. We look forward to seeing you there.